You're welcome back to the show. This is the Pulse on a Friday afternoon. Now, before the break, we were talking about the courts giving the all clear for the demonstration against illegal mining to take place. Now, let me go to Zoom and speak to one of the conveners, Apia Kubi. He's journalist with Kesben Network and co-convener for the Anti-Galamsey protests. Mr. Apia Kubi, good afternoon. Welcome.
Good afternoon, Elton, and thank you for having me.
I nearly said, and the Apia Kubi, forgive me. So, you're ready and set for Monday?
Yes, let me say a very good afternoon to your viewers. We are very much set for Monday, God willing, the 8th of April 2025. And then we entreat all Ghanaians, especially the youth, to as well join us, the civil society organizations, the religious bodies, and anybody who has conscience for the protection of our environment. It is our view that, this is the time to speak up. Yes, in time past, as journalists, as media men, we've done of reportage. We've done of advocacies on our media platforms. But, the hope we had that upon a change of government, at least, we were going to see a certain level of, a little bit of conscience being applied in terms of the way we are degrading the environment and how we are causing a lot of destruction to our very own survival as human beings. Then we ought to have seen some level of change. But yet, the things are happening and we are far from seeing any positive change. And so we are much more prepared for Monday, God willing.
Right. So, and this is to put pressure on government to do more to end the menace of Galamsey. Under this administration, they will say that they are on it. They are stepping up the fight. We've got forestry commission officials in the Western region destroying an entire settlement of 10,000 and over by illegal miners. We've seen the police also do same in some parts of the country. We've seen the revocation of mining license of some individuals, including Akonta mining. And we've seen the government position to even deport foreigners engaged in illegal mining. You don't think that government is doing enough in spite of all of this?
Yes, so Elton, first of all, let's put the whole conversation about Galamsey into perspective, okay? So as a country, we are governed by laws and then as dictate of rule of law. We know for a fact that once we have accepted to comply with laws in the country, as much as we are not in a banana republic, then obviously it is expected that the laws must work and take its rightful perspective shape. And so, the state has been entrusted with the mandate of issuing licenses for individuals, whether, individual persons or companies who are interested in going into the mining sector and then doing some level of work in that particular area. So it is required upon, the government to issue those licenses. Again, we must also put it on record that as much as the government is required to issue those licenses as by law provides, it also holds on with some level of responsibility for ensure that as much as we are going to mine, then definitely we are ensuring that, the environment is safe from degradation. And so if, first of all, you have a mandate to see to it that people who are given the licenses do not mine according to their own wishes, then obviously government has failed in the aspect of monitoring and ensuring that the people who are given those licenses, go in there and then do what is rightful of them. Again, we are saying that this whole issue about Galamsey is becoming a crime scene. I'm saying so because we have seen that in years past, yes, we've raised a lot of advocacies. The media coalition against Galamsey and all of that talk about the issues. Myself and Okatechie, somewhere last year and even beyond last year, we've done several stories. The peak,
including even going to the forest to arrest some of the Galamseyers.
That was the peak of it. That was where I was going to. So that is the peak. As patriotic citizens as we are, we did what we did without getting any payment from anybody. But we felt that by conscience, we have a responsibility as journalists to ensure that if we see that something is wrong with our community, something is wrong with our society, and then we are to draw the duty bearer's attention to whatever that is happening, then it is obvious that at least once you see people causing the distractions, I mean, the in which they were doing it, then we equally have a responsibility as required by the law to make the arrest. And so we went to the extent of doing all of that. Now, it wasn't because President Akufo-Addo was in office, or it wasn't because the NPP was in office. That is why we went ahead to do that. No, we felt that by principle, it was right for us to do that, to be able to protect our very own survival and protect the next generation who will come after us.
Sure.
Now, the manner in which we are doing things as if there is no Ghana tomorrow.
Okay.
And any environment for the next generation to survive on. We are doing things as if, excuse me to say, we do not have conscience as a people. We know that the way and manner in which we are destroying our environment would definitely have an effect on us, even as we generation living today. And so we thought it wise that, look, yes, we've done all the advocacies. Government is doing its bit. But all that we are saying is that, Elton, you've been in this country. We've seen number of excavators being arrested and being seized, okay, under President Akufo-Addo. The required result Ghanaians wanted is not what we got. And so definitely, we cannot repeatedly be doing the same things and expecting different results.
I get you. Yeah. So, Mr. Piakubi, I think we have to leave it here for now. The date is Monday, April 28th, time 2 p.m. And they will do some walk around town and converge at the Liberation Park, right opposite the Jubilee House. But it's a Monday, the demonstration against illegal mining. Now, from one demonstration to the other, a coalition of political parties, they've declared a nationwide protest also for Monday, May 5, 2025, vowing to resist what they call a reckless assault on Ghana's democracy. This follows the alleged unlawful suspension of the Chief Justice and termination of several public service appointments. Now, in a strongly worded statement issued after an emergency meeting on April 24, that's yesterday, the parties warned that Ghana's constitutional order is under threat. The protest is backed by the New Patriotic Party, Liberal Party of Ghana, that's LPG, National Democratic Party, NDP, People's National Party, PMP, and the Ghana Union Movement, GUM. They are urging citizens, civil society, and religious bodies to join, as they describe as a non-partisan call to defend the judiciary. And so let me bring in Janet Nabila, and of course, Dr. Amuako Hene. First, let me start with Janet Nabila. Ma'am Jane, so this protest, I mean, there's a lot of conversation around this. And the government says that this is due process at work. They are only following what the constitution dictates. You don't find it acceptable, the reason why you want to hit the streets, right? And if you can unmute for me, Janet Annabelle, we'll see if we can get Madam Annabelle's attention. But the national organizer of the MPP, Henry Nana Boakye, also joins me. Nanabi, good afternoon, welcome.
Elton, good afternoon. How are you, my brother?
I'm doing well, and I've been seeing you the whole year. So let me say, whether it's a belated New Year or what. But you want to take your message to the streets, despite governments saying that they are only conveying the wishes of the Council of State.
This is not true. This whole action is premeditated. It is preconceived. President Mahama is only executing a campaign promise. You recall that some few years ago, he met a group of NDC lawyers. In his address to these NDC lawyers, he mentioned what he termed as the challenges he has with the judiciary, and that when he gets the nod as a president, he was going to clean up. He was going to make sure that there are changes at the top. So he is only executing his campaign promise. I mean, the petition, as we have seen some, to me, is hollow, is weak, is baseless, it lacks merit. Recall that Professor Gogwasari petitioned the president on the Afenyo marking matter, where he claimed that the justices of the Supreme Court, it was a panel of 5, delivering their ruling, mentioned that the actions and the pronouncement from the Speaker of Parliament was unconstitutional. Now, Professor Gogwasari says that because the Speaker of Parliament did not enter appearance, it means that the justices of the Supreme Court did not allow the rules of natural justice to work. And for that matter, the Chief Justice is incompetent and cannot be the Chief Justice. I mean, this is clearly an absurdity.
Right.
In fact, the President then mentioned that he had consulted the Council of State and there is no merit in this matter. For that matter, a prima facie case cannot be established. This same fact, this same case, same issue with Afenyo marking matter, in a different petition by a group called Shining Star, finds itself with President Mahama, and he's entertaining it. I mean, in law, it is trite that we cannot, you, Elton, you cannot be tried for the same case, same matter, same fact, twice.
And you are certain that is the same matter in the petition?
It is the same thing. The same Afenyo matter case, the same allegations being made that the Chief Justice, and don't forget that the Chief Justice sat only as the head of the panel. So if you are accusing her of a particular action, then it means you are accusing all 4 other justices of the Supreme Court. So it means you are calling for the removal of all of them. In fact, in one particular petition from ACP, he was manhandled.
We are losing you, Nanabi. I don't know if you can reposition yourself so that I can hear you clear. Well, we don't have him, I think because of connection issue. But let me bring in Janet Nabila with the PNP. So why is the PNP taking part in this demonstration? If you can unmute for me. What? We are also not getting our attention. We'll see if we can get both Nana B back and, of course, Madam Janet Nabila of the PNP to tell us why they are embarking on this demonstration on May 5. That is this in some few days to come. But this is a matter.
Okay, so let me greet you and your viewers. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Please go on. Yes, I can hear you, please.
Okay, so I said let me greet you and your viewers this. Let me greet you and your viewers this evening. You are asking why we joined the demonstration. We want to join the protest.
Exactly.
When you watch events closely, you realize that when the Chief Justice was first petitioned, it was the PNP that rose up and was against it because we knew where it was going to. When you look at the number of women we have in the NDC government, they are so abysmal. The 30% promise that he promised the women of Ghana, he wasn't able to ascertain that. So for him not to be able to do that and also came in using all manner of means to remove women out of their positions, that is the reason why we went and joined this demonstration. Because we also realized that they are, the NDC have violated our constitution. When we talk about the petition, they said when the person petitioned, the president is supposed to give it to the Chief Justice, for the Chief Justice to give the response out. And then when he sees that there is something in it, then he can now send it to the Council of State. But that's not what the president did. Immediately they petitioned, he sent it straight to the Council of State, and then they came through media to inform everyone that this is what was happening. The Chief Justice protested. After the protest, then the president then gave the Chief Justice 10 days to respond. You know, if you go and if I steal a phone and then they catch me and I give the phone back to its owner, it doesn't mean that I'm exonerated just because I gave the phone back. I have still committed a crime. So President Mahama, no matter what, has still committed a crime. And that is the reason why some people send him to court. An injunction was sent to court. And no matter what, whether the poor man who is working in who is walking in the street or a beggar, and then the president, they are all equal before the same law. The president is not more important than the beggar on the street. So how come that? And we all know that when an injunction is on a matter, all decisions freezes. Because if you don't freeze the decision and you allow the person to go ahead with the decision, after the decision, when the ruling is given and it goes in favor of any of them, it can cause confusion.
Right.
That's the reason why when on decisions are frozen. Our constitution and then the laws of this country. That is the reason why we are saying that the president is violating the constitution. First, he already had a pre-mandated mind that when I come, I'm going to remove him. So it doesn't matter what petition people bring. Because he has a pre-mandated mind, he was working towards that. And we think that it is unfair because children who are in JHS and they look up to some of us, also thinking that one day they will join politics when they see that
the internet, yes, the internet obviously.
Women in the media and other places.
Well, I think we'll fix this and then so that we can have a very thorough conversation. But I guess that the point is made on this particular matter. We'll try and see if we can fix the connection to Madam Nabila and of course Nadabi and bring them back on. We'll bring you the very latest on the suspension of emergency care by the Tamale Teaching Hospital doctors. We'll have the very latest on this matter for you pretty soon.